Okay, it has like 30, 60, so that's 40%. So Splash gets 30% of dividends, T-Pain gets 30% of dividends, Mark Zuck gets 40% of the dividends. So every time the dividends is getting paid out of the company, Splash always gets 30, T-Pain always gets 30, Mark Zuck gets 40% of the dividends from the company. So hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be looking at like what's called a program which is going to take in two investors or more than one investor's percentage in a company, and it's going to give us the total percentage each person owns in a company. Basically it's input and output. It's not going to be doing much work inside the code, but yeah, we're going to include IO stream, which are input output stream, which allows us to have functions such as cout. Okay, and we're going to include vector, which is going to be storing our investors for us, which is going to be used right here. We're going to be calling it right here. It's going to be taking our investor variable, which is a struct basically, which contains the name of the investor and the total percentage they own in the company. Okay, so that's the two libraries we're going to be using, and then we're going to be using the standard namespace library. So we have to write this in front of every line of code. I have to write this in front of every line of code right there. So yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to have a struct, which is going to be something that stores in objects for us, which that's what a class does, but it's like similar to a class. So stores our name, total percentage, but then has to be an investor. It's linked to an investor, so each investor should have a name and a total percentage. Okay, and the string is basically the name. It's going to be the variable that we use, string, to call the name, and then double will be total percentage. The double is used when you have decimal numbers and stuff like that. So yeah, then the main function will have int called number of investors, which will take in how many investors do we have in a company. Okay, a company or business, however you guys like it. Okay, so we're gonna console output enter the number of investors, and then we're gonna console input number of investors. So we're gonna take in how many investors are in the company. Okay, number take in or console input number of investors. Okay, all right. Then we're going to create a vector that's given a size, which is our number of investors. Okay, so this is how we declare the vector, and we say what variable it's going to take in. It's going to be what's called investors, and investors is going to be called again because this is what the variable we're going to be using for our vector. So our vector is small I. Just notice this, it's not the same. What's it called? This is just that, and this is a different variable because it has small I to it, and it's called all over the place here, but this is why it has this. Just remember this, guys. It has to be a different name than this. It shouldn't be the same name. So this could have been X basically. Okay, but I just call it investors with the I, with a small I. Okay, so yeah, could have been X. The variable could have been X too, but just so it's more appropriate and more readable, it's gonna call it a small letter I, investors. And then we have our number of investors. That will be the size of our vector basically, in brackets. Okay, and then a semicolon, of course. And then the double will be the total percentage. So everybody's gonna start with a total percentage of 0.0. Okay, so yeah, we just do this to declare. Okay, this is to declare. Okay, because if you just say total percentage and have no value in it, kind of be weird, right? So let's just say there'll be somebody in the company and he's just like, let's call them an angel investor, right? Or let's say like they're just investing in the company but they don't want a percentage type shit. So I'm not sure if it's an angel investor, but don't quote me on that one. That's mismatched memory type shit in my brain. So yeah, I'm holding that for you guys. So we're gonna use a do while loop to run the main program that we're gonna be interacting with more. It's gonna be a do while loop, which is gonna be like, so it's gonna do this. So it's gonna do this while the total percentage is not equal to 100. So until we get to 100 percentage, shouldn't be more, shouldn't be less, but until we get to 100 percentage on all the investors combined together, the program is gonna keep running and asking us for different for what's called for percentages of investors for each investor basically. So yeah. So for int I, so example, the total percentage again is 0.0, declared again here. It shouldn't be, but it's whatever. So the loop runs, but if not add up to 100%, the for loop will run again. So this for loop will keep running again until we get a total percentage of 100%. Okay. So yeah. So we're gonna just kind of see out, enter the name of the investor. It's gonna be I plus 1, which is what's it called, the iteration inside the the vector, right? So it's gonna be I plus 1, like in the for loop, sorry. It's gonna be iteration in the for loop. It's gonna be I plus 1. Okay. So we do this since we're not running the for loop, like we're doing the I plus 1 in a sense. We're like, once we enter the first person in the vector, so it's gonna be I goes from 0 to 1. Okay. Since like if we didn't do this, the for loop would have basically be running like after we enter 2 investors, then it will count 1. So instead of doing that, we should just have the I plus 1 every time we enter investor basically. So we have I plus 1 to enter investor. So the for loop will be like, okay, we have 1 investor already here. So it's gonna be a 1. It's gonna turn to a 1 here like that. Okay. So yeah, and then second investor. So this for loop is gonna keep running until we reach the maximum of 2 investors. Okay. So yeah, and it's gonna say enter the name of the first investor, and then or enter the total percentage for the investors. Okay. And then have the total percentage, which is our plus equal to. This is basically saying plus or equal to the addition assignment operator, which adds up the value, the right hand side to the variable on the left hand side. The left hand side is gonna keep changing. Since we're gonna be inputting it. So you can tell here investors. We're gonna console input investors dot I, which is this one right here. It's gonna be the first investor and total percentage of them. Okay. So yeah, total percentage basically we're just going to input in the total percentage like the investor owes in the company or owns in the company. For example, let's say Splash here, it was like, yo, I want to invest in the company, like, hey yo, sure, but you gotta have to pay this much and I give you this much percentage of the company. So yeah, that's how we inputted it. This is how it inputs out. And then yeah, so this if statement says if we don't have 100% between all investors combined together, then the program will just run again, the for loop will run again. Okay. And yeah, so once we get to 100% on all investors combined together, then the while loop is done, and then it calculates for each investor. Okay, so this is a loop which iterates through the investor's container or vector till the end. So basically this is calling the investor's vector, this is calling the investor's object, and this is basically telling us to run through the investor's vector. Like we're gonna be running through it until the end. Okay. So double individual percentage equals to investor's total percentage over 100 times 100, which will give us the percentage again. And then console outputs investor's dollar name, then gets us individual's percentage of dividends. Yeah, that's the end of the program, guys. This is pretty much clear because what we're doing here is getting the name and we're saying, hey, this investor gets this much percentage of dividends in the company, basically. So dividends is basically what you get for owning a percentage in a company. Like it could be quarterly, it could be yearly, it could be maybe even weekly or daily. It depends on the company, to be honest. But I'll just run the program for you guys to check out. So let's get with it. Go on. Okay. So a number of investors, let's say 3 investors. Okay, let's say Splash has 30%. Okay, and then let's say T-Pain has 30%. And let's say Mark Zuck, okay, has like 30, 60, so that's 40%. So Splash gets 30% of dividends, T-Pain gets 30% of dividends, Mark Zuck gets 40% of the dividends. So every time the dividends is getting paid out of the company, Splash always gets 30, T-Pain always gets 30, Mark Zuck gets 40% of the dividends from the company. So yeah, thank you for watching this video, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out. See you guys whenever I see you guys, and I hope you guys take care of yourself. Like and subscribe. That's the main point. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.